Black Americans voted Kamala and I are President and Vice President of the United States because of you. That's not hyperbole. Because you voted, Donald Trump is defeated former president. And with your vote in 2024, we're going to make Donald Trump a loser again.
I tell you one thing, the fact that the revolt is taking place in the black community, especially when it comes to the Democratic Party, is scaring Joe Biden and his campaign surrogates. They're using the same old scare tactics to drive out black people to the polls. And the simple fact that Joe Biden said that because black Americans voted, the assumption that all black, see, you gotta understand, you gotta read between the lines. Joe Biden is saying because black Americans voted and they voted overwhelmingly for the Democrats, he's in office. Let that sink in. That shows you the entitlement that Democrats and liberals think they have to the black vote. That is insulting. The simple fact that they don't see black people as Americans, that we're all united, that we're all one. No, they see us in different segments. It's called identity politics. They use terms like intersectionality and those kind of things where they section people off into different groups so they can target those groups. They can manipulate those groups to retain and acquire power, to use the grievances of those groups to further their aims. It's a Marxist tactic that has been in place for a long time. And so they have perfected that in the black community. And Joe Biden was definitely showing those scare tactics when he was speaking. Why do all, and Republicans do this too, but especially the Democrats, they usually go to only three places. They go to a traditional black church, they go to an HBCU, and they either go, most of them don't even go, but some go to like a barbershop or a cookout or something like that. As if black people are only confined to those three areas or so. Most black people don't go to HBCUs. Most black people don't go to your traditional black churches anymore. They go to non-denominational churches. And when they do go to the barbershop, sometimes it's a one-off kind of barbershop. They don't go to the barbershops that they used to in the hood. You don't have those kind of barbershops anymore. So when you see these Democrats utilizing these tired and lazy strategies, it shows you that they're really not interested in understanding the needs of the community.
Folks, I know it's natural to wonder if the democracy you hear about actually works for you. When justice is denied, how can it be working for you? When promises are broken, how can it be working for you? When you have to be 10 times better than everyone else to get the same shot, how can it be working for you? I get it. And I know there's a lot of misinformation out there. So I came today to speak the truth.
You are misinformed if you think for yourself. You're misinformed if you are disgusted by his patronizing statement saying that today black people got to work 10 times as harder just to get a shot. That is disgusting. But that's the same old lazy, tired playbook that Democrats use to get your vote. Will it work this year? That's the question.
The threat that Trump poses is greater in his second term than his first. It's clear that when he lost in 2020, something literally snapped in the sky. No, I'm serious. That's why January 6th happened, when he unleashed an insurrection. Now he's running again, and he's clearly unhinged. He calls insurrectionists who stormed the Capitol patriots. Patriots. If reelected, he wants to pardon, quote, every one of them. Let me ask you, what do you think he would have done on January 6th if black Americans had stormed it? Think about this. What do you think would have happened if black Americans had stormed the Capitol?
There we go again. There we go. You know, there were some black people that were in that group, sir. There are some black people who are being unjustly imprisoned because of that, sir. And I'm here not to justify what happened in terms of the riot that happened at the Capitol. But the fact you're patronizing black people is offensive. Of course, we know that things may have been different if a majority of black people had stormed the Capitol. We know that. But then again, we know that you would not have allowed that to happen in the first place.
I don't think he'd be talking about pardons. It's the
same old tired tactic. Donald Trump is a racist. Republicans are racist.
I wanted to tear gas you as you peacefully protested George Floyd's murder.
The peaceful protest that destroyed properties in the black community, that killed black shop owners, that was peaceful? Got it.
Same guy who still calls the Central Park Five guilty, even though they were exonerated. He's that landlord who denies housing applications because of the color of your skin. He's that guy who won't say Black Lives Matter and invokes neo-Nazi.
Okay, this is, I can't believe these people actually sit there and listen to this stuff. This same old tired rhetoric that this dude is using. You won't believe in Black Lives Matter because you don't talk about the real things that matter to black people. You let black people kill their future. You endorse that. You support that. You champion that. Those black lives don't matter. Where are you when it comes to black people, young black children, shooting themselves, killing each other? Where are you when it comes to that? No, black lives only matter when it suits your political agenda. You guys are so tired and lazy with your tactics. And I can't believe these people sit up here and cheer to this stuff. That's why you're losing the black vote. You're not reaching the majority of black people with this same old tired rhetoric, man. People want to know, what are you going to do about inflation, Joe Biden? What are you going to do to lessen? You say you have the lowest unemployment in the black community. That can be debated. But what you're not talking about is how black people are having to work 2 or 3 jobs just to afford groceries. You're not going to that level. You're not going to the real level. You're in this fantasy level just using numbers, but you're not going down to the street level, man, and talking to real people, understanding what's going on, having to decide between putting gas in their tank or feeding their children. You're not talking about how these children are growing up in failing communities and failing schools and not learning anything, and the learning gap is the greatest in history. You're not talking about that stuff, man. You're talking about stuff that really does not matter. Black people really, by and large, don't care about January 6th. They don't care about the stuff you're saying about Central Park 5 and those kind of things. That stuff happened over 30-something years ago. Talk to what really matters today. Stop treating black people as if we are children. We are Americans. Speak to us with issues, with policies that you're going to do. You represent the people, man.
Third right terms. We all remember Trump is the same guy who unleashed birthism, the birthism lie against Barack. And then Trump tells you he's the greatest president. I love this one. He says he's the greatest president for black people in the history of America, including more than Abraham Lincoln.
Seriously? You're going to do a sign of the rosary after saying that? You told a lie or something? You tell lies all the time, Joe. All the time.
I mean, can you fathom that? Where in the hell?
You just did the sign of the cross and you're just about to cuss. Well, I tell you, these people, these politicians, boy, they say whatever they need to say at the moment, but their real nature usually comes out. That's why I'm against all these people that are performative Christians, that are Christians in name only, that are Christian nationalists because they place the nationality over the Christianity. They're not really Christians based upon the word of God, the gospel of Jesus Christ. They're also living another gospel. And he's doing the exact same thing.
Like I said, I think he injected too much of that bleach in his brain. I think it affected his brain. Some lies are so foolish they don't have to say anything about them at all. Maya Angelou said, when someone shows you who they are, believe them the first time. You got it, kid. You got it. I'm showing you who I am, and Trump has shown you who he is. And today, Donald Trump is pandering and peddling lies and stereotypes for your vote so he can win for himself, not for you.
You do the exact same thing. All y'all do the exact same thing.
Well, Donald Trump will have a message for you. Not in our house and not in our watch.
Oh, we just had another rousing speech from Joe Biden to a predominantly black audience, telling them they're victims, they're oppressed, they have to work 10 times as harder in today's economy, that America, democracy does not work for them, that Donald Trump's going to take your rights away, and Donald Trump's going to put you back in chains. That same old lazy scare tactic may work for a small audience in Philadelphia, Joe Biden. That's not going to work in the areas where you need it to work. Because black people, by and large, especially young black people, are waking up to the fact that they have agency. They're waking up to the fact that they don't have to vote for their grandparents or parents' Democratic Party. They don't have to vote for a certain party just because they look a certain way. That they are Americans. That they have agency. That God created them with the ability to think for themselves. And they don't want to be victims anymore. Because we're not victims. We are empowered for greatness.